Hello there. Kyle Katarn here, and it is Wednesday, my droids. A little later than normal on a Wednesday, but got a pretty good reason for starting the stream late today. Kenobi stream, Kenobi trailer, hell yes. 'Twas amazing. Took me by surprise this morning, had to react to it. The reaction is up on YouTube right now, so make sure to check that out if you are interested. It's comics time. Jake, Ronan Unchained, Septile Destroyer, Set Mayhem, hello there. I hope you are all doing wonderful on this very blessed Kenobi Day. There are actually two titles today. There's Star Wars Crimson Reign #3 by Charles Soule, which I have here in front of me, and also Han Solo and Chewbacca #1 by Mark Guggenheim came out today. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get my hands on a copy of that yet, so that'll probably get added to next week's comic streams. Don't worry about that. So today we're just reading Crimson Reign #3, but I'm totally here for it. The Archivist. And here they are with Yoda as well, of all people. Could they actually be on Dagobah? Valley Boy Evo, Beskar Doom, Mr. DeSith, hello there. Yeah, that Kenobi trailer was incredible. Absolutely has me reeling. Like I said, it's why the comics was delayed today. Star Wars Crimson Reign, Part 3, The Archivist. Written by Charles Soule, art by Stephen Cummings, inked by Victor Olazaba, colored by Guru EFX, lettered by VC's Travis Lanham, cover art by Lionel Francis Yu and Sunny Go. Let's do it. No one is who they were. The person you were a moment ago is already gone. What you were seeing, thinking, feeling, that precise configuration of brain activity in cells, lost forever. Time remakes us all. But in my particular case, the transition was rather dramatic. Oh damn, okay, backstory on the Archivist. Before Order 66. Before I became the woman you see before you, I had a very different life. They say working with the dark side corrupts one's physical form, but for me, I think it's something much simpler. In my old life, I was happy. I was a fully credentialed a scholar and teacher. I thought she was going to say savant and then stopped herself. I think Sava is the full term. I was a fully credentialed Sava, a scholar and teacher at the University of Barleth, smack in the middle of the bright, shining core. I had access to great minds. Corin Pers herself was a close colleague. My theories were given great weight. My publications were revelatory. But because of the subject I chose to devote my life to, I was happy. This is great. Look at all these artifacts and trinkets surrounding the room. Something tells me that the Archivist and Afra might have gotten along. I'm sure Afra would have screwed her over eventually, but I'm sure they have a lot of academic interests aligning with each other. But because of the subject I chose to devote my life to, I was happy. After Order 66. And then I was not. Life is loss, of course, but some hit harder than others. The Jedi would say that is because of attachment to the thing that is lost, not the loss itself. Citizen, you are Sava Madeline's son? I am Madeline's son, yes, but I am no longer a Sava. Not for a long time. I'm just a junk seller now. Order 66 killed the Jedi, and as I studied the Force for a living, it also killed my career. Junk, eh? I'm really liking the art here. It's very colorful, even though we're in a bleak location. All it takes is a little bit of lighting, a little bit of color in the sky, and it really brings it to life. Junk, eh? Give it a good tossing. Yes, sir. But why? No! I'm a good citizen. I follow the rules. I gave it up. I swear to you. This is outrageous. I'll file a report with the Imperial Governor of this sector. I might not be what I was, but I still have friends out there. Powerful friends. You can't treat me this way. Was I attached to my old life? Oh yes. I gripped it with both hands, tight as I could. And when you're that attached, it's almost impossible to let go. I found something, sir. Ooh, a jade weapon. Well, what do you know? I was not expecting that from a trooper of all people. Well, what do you know? Thought you said all you have is junk. This doesn't look like junk to me. Looks like illegal contraband. An artifact forbidden under Order 66, Codicil 9. No, it's nothing. I just kept it for sentimental reasons. I can't even use it. It just makes me happy. Uh-huh. Guess I'll be making a report, too. No, please. Ah! Ah! The troopers are down. Oh no, her keepsake is destroyed. Hello, my name is Kira. Damn, Kira, looking good. I like the little half cape. She would be wearing all crimson. Never was one for subtlety. This is a cool outfit for Kira. And I'm digging the little. She got a blurg. Nice. It is an extraordinary pleasure to meet you, Madeline. I know your work well. My work? You just killed 3 Imperial soldiers. I have no fear of the Empire. If you work for me, you'll have nothing to fear from them either. Work for you? Doing what? Who are you? I'll answer those questions, but I'm hoping you might answer one for me first. You can speak freely. I have nothing but respect for you, and I have no obligation to me. And you have no obligation to me for saving your life. No matter how this conversation goes, it is an honor to be in your presence. Such a beautiful piece. I never should have kept it. I knew better. Knew it was dangerous, but I just couldn't let it go. Of course, you are a scholar. Your field is the Force, specifically the dark side. Relics like this were part of your identity, your reason for being. Why are you forbidden to study the Force, Sava's son? Why does no one talk about it, at least not publicly? Within our lifetimes, a huge, powerful group of Force users worked directly with the galactic government. Now, it's as if they never existed. That is my question. Why has the Force disappeared from the galaxy? I've spent a lot of time considering that these past few decades. What happened to the Jedi is what happened to me. It's not as complicated as you'd think. Oh, these faces, these fresh faces, I wasn't ready for this flashback. The Jedi Order was strong, deeply seated into the galaxy's consciousness. They had a great temple in the heart of Coruscant, worked closely with the Republic and its Chancellor for centuries. People made holodramas about them, wrote stories. The Jedi were celebrities, and rightly so. I draw no distinction between the light side and the dark side of the Force. Both are essential to life and have their role. But I believe, for most people who thought about it all, the light side represented the way they wanted to live and act, the way they should be. The dark side was more closely connected to how they actually were. But I digress. Your point is well taken. Amazing breakdown of the dogmatic organization that is the Jedi, and how a more nuanced view of the light and dark side can be taken versus what is kind of the public opinion that light side equals good, dark side equals bad. And then Sava's son is making the argument that in fact the light side is an ideal and the dark side is the base nature inherent within all living things, you know? And I really like that, and this actually makes me think of a specific scene from a Legends novel called Traitor by Matt Stover, and it's Jason Solo trapped on Yuuzhan Tar, which is Coruscant after it's been terraformed by the Yuuzhan Vong. And him and Vergir have a conversation about the nature of the light and dark side of the Force, and he ends up having a revelation that there is no light and dark side, and that they're man-made constructs. They're constructs of these religious organizations, and I love that we're kind of touching on that here from Sava's son. I love it. I love getting alternative interpretations of the Force as we know it. But I digress. Your point is well taken. In a single generation, the entire Jedi Order, and indeed the concept of wielding the Force itself, largely disappeared from the collective consciousness of the galaxy. What up, Starlight Beacon? The Hollows, children playing at Jedi games, records of the Jedi's great deeds during the Clone Wars, the 1,000 generations of peace and justice. All of it simply vanished. You asked me how. The answer, of course, is fear. The most potent weapon in the arsenal of the great galactic empire. Emperor Palpatine rose to power because he made people afraid. He made people fear the Jedi. He called them traitors. He said they used their mystical powers to subvert democracy and peace, to cause war. It worked, possibly, because as much as people loved the Jedi, they also hated them, on some level. It is hard to look at people who have become their best selves. It reminds you that you have not. The Jedi Order was an enemy of the Empire and needed to be purged, not just from reality, but from thought, from memory. If you want a galaxy of people to stop talking about something, which means their children will know nothing of that thing, and you happen to possess a vast military and the willingness to kill and imprison your own subjects, then you simply pass a few laws. You make it treasonous to be a Jedi, to help a Jedi, to use the Force, to study the Force, to even be aware of the Force. Some will be willing to die for their beliefs in an effort to bring back the light, to expose the truth. So you kill them first. The ones left are, by process of elimination, not willing to die for their beliefs. They're apathetic, just trying to get by, afraid. It's not that the Jedi are forgotten. It's that the very idea of them is a death sentence. Those who remember stay silent. In time, they will die, and the Order will truly be lost. Wow. This is a very stark and extremely accurate interpretation of exactly how Palpatine was able to overthrow this entire organization so quickly. Not just with force, with fear and military might, but with the hearts and minds of the people. The fact that there was this underlying resentment for what? For seeing these powerful people who are their best selves, you know? That's a really good way of putting that. This is Lego Jules, I was just about to say, this is a perfect timing to be getting this little diatribe into how Order 66 reshaped the galaxy right after seeing that beautiful Kenobi trailer earlier this morning. It's really like, yeah, perfect timing. And I'm sure that's not a coincidence. I see it much the same way, but there is a piece you are missing. You said that the Empire was responsible for the erasure of the Jedi and the Force. But who is the Empire, truly? It is one man, Emperor Sheev Palpatine. Sheev! It's not every day you get the first name drop. I dig it. We got a well, what do you know, and a Sheev. This is a prequel meme heavy issue so far. Yes, I suppose. Semantics. Hardly. Palpatine has another name, his true name. He is the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. I was stunned. Stunned at the obvious truth Kira gave me. Stunned I did not see it before. This explains so much. How did I miss this? I call myself an expert in the dark side and I missed a Sith Lord right under my nose. If it's any consolation, so did the Jedi, and they were even closer to him. It's the brazenness of it. The Sith is supposed to haunt the shadows. You do not expect to see one in plain sight. Do you know what this means? I did not lose my life, my happiness. It was taken from me. Damn, and she grips the shards so tightly that her own hands bleed. Come with me, Sava, and then I would like to make you an offer. Nice. This is great. Kira really has a great way of inspiring the passions of those that she then, recruits to her side. By the shadow. The dancing goddess. A thought dowser. That's Ascendant technology. Artifacts of the Sith. Oh, what? There it is right there. The thought dowser, as seen in Dr. Aphra. Yeah, that's a pretty dangerous thing to have just lying around next to your oversized green army man that you got back there. Some lightsabers. Hell yes. You got. Oh, fuck yeah. These are the weapons that she fights Dryden Voss with. Actually, this was Dryden Voss's weapon. Yeah. Excellent. I am lightly force sensitive. Not enough to use it, but enough to, sense it. Much of this is imbued with or connected to the dark side. I didn't realize so much still existed. How did you get all of this? Much of it I inherited. Some I found in hidden corners of the galaxy. I had a sort of mentor. I gained insight about where to look from him. There's much more, much more. A huge part of my plan is connected to the history of the Sith. There's something out there. I need to find it. Your plan? I want to end the Sith's stranglehold on this galaxy. I want to set everyone free. To succeed, I need to understand the dark side. Its strengths, its weaknesses, its lore, its history. I need an expert. I want it to be you. I am no longer that person. No, Sava Madeline's son, you still are. Join me, and you will have access to all these artifacts and more. When we succeed, you can study anything you want. Nothing will be forbidden. Not anymore. Not you, for you or anyone. I want to give you your life back. You want me to go up against a Sith Lord? 2, in fact. There always are 2. I'll die. Sava, you're dead now. Don't you want to live? Kira was right, of course. She was almost always right. Almost. Where do you want me to begin? Almost, huh? Is this some subtle foreshadowing about how Crimson Reign is going to end? Because in issue 1 of Crimson Reign, this was called the story of the fall of Crimson Reign. And so her being almost right makes me think that we're building up to a giant gamble that she's going to lose, and that's going to be the end of the Kira story. I hope I'm wrong, because I love this character, but yeah, no one's right all the time. Where do you want me to begin? I do have a task for you, a small thing, and if working with me does not suit you, you are free to leave, with no obligation. As I said, it is an honor simply to meet you. What is this task? The Jedi fought the Sith for centuries. If I could enlist one to my cause, they would be incredibly helpful. I believe some survived Palpatine's purge. In particular, Yoda. The Council Grand Master? A small task. I see. Nice to know you have a sense of humor, Kira. That is pretty funny. He would be a powerful ally indeed, but why do you suspect he survived? Because the Empire never announced his death. They made a great show of the other Jedi they killed. Many lightsabers were melted down in Imperial Plaza, including one of Yoda's. But they never claimed he was dead. The only reason for that would be if they were afraid he might someday reappear. Okay, nice. I like that we're actually revisiting this specific panel from the Darth Vader comic after the revelation that one of Yoda's lightsabers was passed by Luke Skywalker onto Grogu in Season 2 of... Actually, no, in Book of Boba Fett, excuse me. And then there was some conjecture about, was it actually his lightsaber? Was that a retcon? We saw his lightsaber getting tossed in the incinerator. And here's that panel again, after Book of Boba Fett, and it's been reworded to include one of Yoda's lightsabers. So there you have it, baby. There you have it. Your particular expertise gives you as good a hope of finding where he might have gone as anyone alive, Madeline. Anything I have is at your disposal. I am the head of a powerful organization with many resources. Credits, connections, these artifacts. Find Yoda for me, and I will ensure you can do anything you want. Study anything you like. Forever. She certainly knows how to tell people what they want to hear. Yeah, it's in the Dr. Holocron is an excellent way of addressing it, and see, you can't really call it an inconsistency at this point. They literally just had to give you a little bit more context that in fact it was only one of his, and that was kind of the that was kind of my go-to assumption at the time. Was like, Grand Master of the Jedi Order only has one lightsaber? Nah, no way. I'm sure in his quarters he had like 6 of them in a little row, you know? It's like, I'm sure they had more than one pair of robes, more than one lightsaber. Like, it's, I don't know. You could easily just go back to the storage unit and grab the rest of their stuff and burn those if the Jedi die with their lightsabers, for example. Find Yoda for me, and I will ensure you can do anything you want. Study anything you like. Forever. I agreed. Of course, how could I not? But Kira's task for me was not simple. She asked me to find Yoda, but gave me no suggestions on where to look. That, however, was a problem I could solve. I may not be able to use the Force, but I do have another ability I can access. In fact, I am one of the galaxy's foremost practitioners of this powerful art. It is called research. I love it. This is an awesome panel, by the way. I really like this environment that she is sitting in right now, with the window. The window showing space really kind of resembles the throne room window that Palpatine sits behind. The way it's like segmented and yet like rounded like this. And so much of Star Wars exists on like data discs and stuff that I like seeing a library space where A, we have actual physical books in here, and B, we have these data discs in their big, heavy 70s analog boxy format, just like in a row, cataloged on the shelf. I love it. I want to see more stuff like this, you know, because it is. Star Wars is a very analog universe. There's limited instances of wireless technology, of purely digital things. Usually you gotta plug something in and flip a few switches and dials, and it's all very like, it's very World War II feeling with the equipment. And I like the way that even like the high-end stuff, like Kira obviously has swanky digs. Everything is like the fancy version. And even then, you got your goddamn laser discs over here, got like cassette tapes up here. It's all just deliciously analog, you know? I love it. It's retrofuturism at its finest. The superpower called research. Let's go. Hey, what up, Black Chrysanthemum? I began with what was known in hopes it would send me on a path towards what was unknown. The last acknowledged appearance of Yoda was the Battle of Kashyyyk. Excuse me, that's Tarful, that's not Black Chrysanthemum. I see a burly Wookiee in the comics and I make assumptions. It's very racist of me. The last acknowledged appearance of Yoda was the Battle of Kashyyyk, but that was not the last place he was seen. I learned quickly that Kira's influence ran wide and deep. She commanded an organization called Crimson Dawn, and apparently, Crimson Dawn was everywhere. Every request I made, she granted. Access to Imperial databases, Old Republic records, anything I wanted. And in some of the reportage surrounding the Dark Night when the Republic died and the Great Galactic Empire was born, were eyewitness accounts of Master Yoda, present on Coruscant. Nice. I love that we got the mid-decapitation here in the panel. This is great. To my mind, and a very good mind it is, the following facts had to be true. 1. Yoda survived the Purge. 2. He was present on Coruscant on that last night, but escaped Darth Sidious, fleeing to some other hiding place. 3. Yoda was one of the most recognizable people in the galaxy. He could not simply buy a ticket on an off-world shuttle. 4. Therefore, he had help. Someone powerful enough to slip through Palpatine's net. Someone with an entire private starship at their disposal. Bail Organa, a noted friend of the Jedi and an outspoken voice of dissent against Palpatine. He took Yoda off Coruscant in his personal vessel that night, a Corellian corvette called the Tantive III. I was certain of it. That ship was next seen on Naboo, where Senator Organa attended Padme Amidala's funeral. Her death was itself a puzzle, but not immediately relevant, so I left it alone. Was Yoda aboard the Tantive III when it landed on Naboo? I wasn't certain. That all happened over 20 years ago. Bail Organa is long dead. But someone who was on that ship during that journey from Coruscant had to still be alive. I kept Kira's slicers busy, I can tell you that. I cut into half the databases in the galaxy. I scanned flight records until I thought I'd go blind. But someone was still alive. A Kresger Jail Imperial Detention Facility. Nice, the Kresger Jail. We haven't been here since Afra. I'm glad to see that they were able to tow it out of the orbit that it crashed into. Looks like it's got an Architen's cruiser, just like acting like a tugboat. That's great. And I found him. I can't give you much time with the prisoner without attracting attention. That's all right. It shouldn't take long. I am helping you at the request of our mutual friend. Will you pass along to her that I assisted you with everything you required? Don't worry, sonny boy. I'll tell our mutual friend you were as helpful as I could ever want. Very well. I will leave you alone with the prisoner. When you are finished, simply knock on the door and I will escort you back to your ship. Await the dawn. You said it. Await the dawn. Jeremark Colton. Am I supposed to know who you are? I don't like this place. Prisons are terrible.
Imagine how bad they are if you can't leave. Are you gonna tell me who you are? I've been here for over 3 years and I haven't had one visitor.
I'm more interested in the time before you got here. Wait, hold on a second. It's Jeremy Bullock! I can't believe that went over my head. It's Jeremy Bullock's cameo from Revenge of the Sith. Jeremiah Colton. That's awesome. What's up, dude?
Am I supposed to know who you are? I've been here for over 3 years. For over 3 years and haven't had one visitor.
I'm more interested in the time before you got here. You were a pilot for the Organa family. First for Bail, then for his daughter, Leia. The Imperials captured the Tantive 4 while you were piloting it. Darth Vader killed its captain, Ramus Antilles, and you ended up here, accused of working with the Rebel Alliance.
So you can read a prisoner transcript. Good for you.
I read a lot of data files. That's how I know you also flew a ship called the Tantive 3 when it helped Jedi Master Yoda escape Palpatine's purge. I need to know where you took him.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I see. This is a device called a thought dowser. Oh my god. Fuck. She's not fucking around. It was created by an ancient society known as the Ascendant. They tried to replicate the powers of the dark side of the Force through technology. Most of what they built failed. It just didn't work. But this works very well indeed. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, God, no, it's dowsing my thoughts.
Your mind belongs to me now. The more you resist, the more it hurts, and in the end, it will make no difference. Tell me where you took Yoda, and this stops.
Don't know.
Oh, how can that be? You were the pilot. So where did you stop?
Didn't stop after Paulus Massa, Yoda, and the other one took their own craft. Don't know the final coordinates.
But you know something, don't you, Jeremiah Colton? The thought dowser is telling me you do. You're trying to hold something back. You might think you're being a hero. Trust me, you're not. This is bigger than either of us. Just tell me, and then we can both get on with our lives.
Sluice Sector.
Sluice Sector. How interesting. Thank you. I do wish you'd made it easier on yourself. And I do hope I don't get a taste for this. I can see how it happens. All too easy. I'm done now. Damn, Sava's son has just, tasted the dark side, and I think she likes it. Sluice Scepter was all but empty. A few settled worlds, but none that seemed like a good candidate to hide a Jedi Master. But again, research. And in an academic paper written during the High Republic, I found a description of a world very strong in the Force. A shining light in the galaxy, bright enough to outshine even Yoda's luminous spirit. A world called Dagobah. Oh damn, she's actually getting close. As I said, I could not use the Force, but I could sense it. The aura of Dagobah was astonishing. I could almost see the web of life connecting everything on that planet. But as I was paying so much attention to how the Force touched all living things, that I missed the actual living things. Oh, God! It almost looks like Drengir. I was taken up by one of Dagobah's native beasts, a huge, terrible thing. I was about to die, there was no doubt in my mind. And all I could think was what a waste it had all been, and that my last real act in life was torturing an old man. And then... spit her out. I find myself before... a union is the only way I can describe it now. A void in the swamp where many of the tendrils of the Force I was sensing came together and were swallowed up, becoming one thing. It was hungry. I knew that if I went in, I might never come out. But if I didn't, I'd never know. It's the cave. It's the cave. The cave! What I saw in that place is for me to know. Is for me alone to know. God, I wonder what she saw. But what I encountered helped me understand a great many things. About the Force, about myself. I realized that I had not found that place by accident. I was led there. And at that moment, I became one of the few people who knew one of the galaxy's most valuable secrets. Yoda's location could give me my life back, whether I gave it to Kira or Palpatine. I could be rich, I could be powerful, I could be a scholar at the best university in the galaxy. I could run it. Yoda had to know all of that. He could have killed me or let the planet do it for him instead. He chose to teach me. I've studied the Force my entire adult life. I focused on the dark side because it spoke to me. I thought it was more realistic. It more clearly reflected who we are. Our motivations, our decisions, the way we usually act. Choices made from selfishness, from attachment, from fear. The light side shows us who we could be. Yoda is dead. Are you certain? I am. Kira, looking like a space Jackie O in her little pink pantsuit. I dig it. Very well, we'll do it ourselves. I made my decision, and for the first time in a very long time, I was happy. That's great. This actually was a really, really good issue. Next, the Knights. Oh, the Knights of Ren. Christian Slater back in the fold. This is going to be dope. This was an excellent issue. Crimson Reign number 3. I really enjoyed it. Yes, Yoda totally taught her not to pursue vengeance, but more than that, Yoda taught her that even after everything the Jedi have endured, they're still capable of compassion, and basically just showed her the writing on the wall of what side of history she wanted to be on. Like, she spent her entire adult life studying the Force, studying the dark side, and feeling like the dark side spoke to her, but that was just because she had never come face to face with a true moment of light side, like a light side decision, like Yoda deciding to save this person who he knew was here to bring him in, and just watching her get eaten wasn't the Jedi way, and that resonated so deeply with her because Sava Sun is someone who's been cast aside and no one cares about her. No one's cared about her for decades. She was languishing, being a junk seller, you know, having lost her tenure, having lost everything. And I feel like Yoda is the first person to take pity and have empathy for her in that entire amount of time. And that was huge for her as a person. Kira's not having empathy for her here. It seems like Kira is coming in to help her and save her from her situation, but it's completely self-serving. Kira doesn't do anything for anyone else. It's always, at its core, to further her own interests. So regardless, I don't know. I think that Kira doesn't count as that, but Yoda was the first person to show her true compassion, and that's why it made such a mark on her. Hopefully she does play a bigger role in Afra. That would be awesome. And yes, Vader versus Slater. I'm here for it. Darth Slater. Anyway, that's all I've got for the comics today. We do not have Han Solo and Chewbacca issue number 1. I'm going to have to get my hands on that later, and I'll add it to next week's comic stream. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, may the Force be with you.